Welcome to More Than a Few Words Marketing Conversation. This is your host, Lorraine Ball, and I'm betting that you've got clients out there that you're working with who think the key to their success is global domination. But really, that success is located in their backyard. And to talk about how to dominate in a local market using hyperlocal blogging, I've invited Kyle Bailey to join me. Kyle has been helping home service businesses increase sales through SEO, local SEO, social media marketing, and website conversion for more than 15 years. Kyle, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
I am so glad to have you here today because this is a topic that is near and dear to my heart. I grew up in home service industries and I saw real benefits to this same strategy. So tell me, how do you get started? If you really want to build that local authority, where do you start?
Well, first, do good work. So, assuming you do that, then you want to have an established web presence that looks good. So, just take a look at all your competitors and see kind of where the gaps are because the work you do, if they come to your website and you look less than, you're already kind of behind the eight ball. But let's
Right.
assume that's all good. You're established. Google knows who you are. Then what you want to do is target the neighborhood keywords. So, the beautiful thing about most cities is that any of the major suburban neighborhoods will have a nice big sign on the front of it to say what it is. So there's multiple ways to attack this, and you don't want to use any just one. Blogging is a good part of it, but you also want to have a service page. If it's a desirable enough neighborhood that has a big enough demographic footprint there, then what you want to do is say, like, let's say it's Mayfield. Then you're going to put up a service like your website / HVA service / Mayfield or HVA repair Mayfield, right? So that's going to be your page. But then you want to update that page with some local flavor. You know, what school's down the road from it? Do you have a chamber in that area? Go take selfies. Have you and your crew take selfies with the front sign. Now you've got material to put on a blog post. You've got material to put on your page, but you've also got material to post in Instagram, TikTok, Facebook Reels, YouTube Shorts. So now what you're getting out of this one piece of content, the old idea of COPE, create once, propagate everywhere, publish everywhere. That's the same idea here, but it's a much more social behavior now. And so what
Absolutely.
you're able to do is speak this message to all these different audiences because some of these homeowners are going to be on one or the other. But what you're doing is you're speaking very consistently and very clearly. We repair AC units in your area, in your actual neighborhood.
I love that idea because the old strategy just doesn't work anymore. The idea of you write one service page and then you do a cut and replace just for the name of the location. But if
Right.
everything else on that page is the same, Google's like, yeah, no. But that's a really clever way to give that service page a really unique feel.
That's
What
exactly
else?
right. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what else can I do besides taking those pictures that maybe I could incorporate into that page or just into my thought process as I'm thinking about creating local content, local stories.
Well, you mentioned one. You said you were talking about someone who really kind of owned her area in south of Indianapolis, and so involvement in your local chamber links are very valuable to Google. I
Mhm.
value them a lot, but you also need to start kind of shifting your thinking because brand mentions are rising. They've always been powerful. They've always been important, but you could win on Google without it. Now, I'm not. All the SEO people out there are going to cringe when I say that. I don't mean like in a zero state. What I mean is you could win local areas without being like front facing forward with brand mentions. But now it's not that way anymore. AI has completely changed that. So I'm actually writing a book that'll be out here within a week or so, and it's called "What's Your Story?" And the idea is to create a story or tell the story effectively of you and your company, how you got where you are, why you do what you do, how you connect with your homeowners. And the whole idea is that the homeowner will have a way to connect with you on an emotional level that's beyond your service. And now that creates more brand awareness and brand mentions because they're buying into who you are. And so it kind of maybe 10x's the effect of the local service pages. Because now when I say HVAC in Mayfield, I'm thinking of that guy who helps the animal rescue or who helps the children's homes that I also help, or is involved with this other give back program or cleaned up this area that I also cleaned up. You've got this connection piece there that
You
is
really,
much stronger.
yes. And you really hit it when you say that the things that you were describing really talk about you and your company's values. And
That's
that
it.
is what separates you from everybody else. But you're also putting a very personal face on the business.
Right.
It's not just Joe's Heating and Air, it's Joe's Heating and Air who does those things, who I
Yes.
meet at the local chamber, who
Yeah.
I meet at the dog walk park.
Mhm.
And so you become, the more local you can focus, the more you become a part of that community.
Yeah, and you nailed it. The core values, that's actually the first part of the book, is auditing your core values because that's where it all starts. And we all think we know our core values, but you have to audit your core values from yourself, then from your team, and then from your customers, because that's going to tell you the whole story. You've only got part of the story if you've never done that exercise. And so when
Oh,
you get that whole story, now your people have something to associate with. And you know this
mhm,
very well. Association is the strongest muscle in because what a customer wants is they want to go, I'm a good person. Is this a good person? And they look around
mhm,
for reasons to say that. Sure, you ranked on Google, but so that's the logical part. Now the emotional part of safety is, are they a good person? Yeah, they got good
mhm.
reviews, but I've heard those are faked. Who is this person? And you need a way to quickly say, hey, this is how we give back. Been in the neighborhood this long. I'm third generation. Here's me with my dad. Here's me with my grandfather. In the business. So you're telling that story very quickly, visually. That causes them to be able to associate safety with you.
Absolutely. It was funny. We went so far with our core values that became part of our interview process because
Oh yeah,
we want it, and
has to be.
it's so important because your employees, when the company grows beyond you, they're out there representing you. And
Yes.
if the experience doesn't match up, if what I read on the website doesn't match up, your team comes to my door, it's all gone.
Yes,
I
we've
met
all
you at the
heard that.
chamber, I liked you, but
Right.
not your team.
Oh man, I've heard that so often. And that
Hmm.
comes from culture and training. You've
Yes.
always heard that chain's only as strong as its weakest link. Well, your culture is only as strong as your weakest player, but it's really on you because it's your training. If you didn't do the work to make sure that when they get out of the truck, they know on time, every time, we always treat people fairly, we treat people the way we want, these are our core values, then they're getting out of the truck carrying those values.
Yes. You said something else about early on. You were talking about how important it is to join the chamber to get those links.
Mm.
But are there other links, both inbound and outbound, that I should be looking for ways to incorporate into my website to enhance my credibility, but also enhance my rankings?
Sure. Yeah, you've got the foundation links. So there's that. It would take way longer than I could tell it now, but anybody can reach out to me on my website. I can walk you through like what found. So you got two levels of foundational links. You've got foundational links that everybody should have. Then you have ones that are more important for the HVAC, the roofer, remodeler,
Hmm.
painter. These folks, they're more of the local business and
Hmm.
construction business foundation links. But then you also, it's a great idea to reach out to your pals in the area who are not competitors and do partner blogs.
Hmm.
Just find a way to, and don't be spammy about it.
Hmm.
Don't have every single person post best HVAC company in Southern Indianapolis. You don't want to do that. But, HVAC repair company, vary it up to where there's variable stuff coming
Hmm.
in. And then I always try to give more than I get because that just puts you in a good position because everybody wants to work with you then. If you're doing it the other way around,
Absolutely.
you're going to fatigue those relationships. But yeah, just a
Absolutely.
quick description describing what you do and how you do it and problems you fixed, offering ways a customer can fix their own units. These are ways that are very engaging and it becomes a linkable asset. That's another way to do it. But yeah, the link building strategy has changed a lot. And
Yes.
there's kind of starting to be whispers that brand mentions may supersede links with the advent
Interesting.
of AI, because the more that AI can understand the entity of who you
Mhm.
are, then attach that to a search return, who knows? They've been saying links are dead. That comes around every 5 to 7 years. Same thing with blogging
Absolutely.
and SEO. When AI first hit, it's like SEO's dead, and you can still see people saying that all over. But
Absolutely.
the reality is, I don't see it, especially for local. because
Yep.
when I come home and I want to be cool and I'm hot, or when I want to be warm and I'm cold, I need a solution. I don't need AI. I need somebody in my house fixing it.
Furnace repair
And
near me.
say it again.
Furnace repair near
Yes.
me.
Yes. Yes.
Well, we could chat forever, especially because I have such an affinity for the home service market. But
Same.
we're going to
Yep.
put a pin in it here,
Sure.
Kyle. And I'm going to encourage my listeners that if you want to know more about what Kyle is doing and what he can do for your business, you want to hop over to frontburnermarketing.net.
Yes.
Kyle, thanks for being a part of the show.
Absolutely. Thank you for having. And remember, the book will be out in a couple of weeks called "What's Your Story."
Absolutely. Well, if you'll share a link, we'll have that in the show notes.
Sounds great.
And if you've enjoyed this conversation, if you'd like to find other resources for your business, hop over to morethanafewwords.com. This has been another episode of More Than a Few Words. Thanks for listening.